Kitakubu.
Hey everyone, KitaSean here, so welcome back to another, I guess you could say, Atelier video. So I don't really make Atelier videos, but this upcoming new game, Atelier Yumia, is a game that I'm just super excited for. I've been a pretty big Atelier fan ever since the release of Atelier Ryza. Yes, that was the previous Atelier title, but Atelier Ryza really changed my view on the Atelier series. I never touched an Atelier series until Ryza, which I think a lot of you guys can say the same, but Atelier Ryza really changed my perspective on the Atelier series because I always thought it was a game targeted towards the female fan base, and I always was very distracted away because of the system that they have implemented in the older versions of the game. And when I mean the older system, I meant the time limit that you have, like, because there's like a day system and stuff like that, a time system that you have to complete the game on. And that was something that definitely really turned me off of touching an Atelier game. But again, they got rid of that, and I started playing Ryza because I really enjoyed the character designs in Ryza. And from there, I fell in love with the story, the characters, the world building, the art style, and I've been really jumping into the Atelier games. So yeah, Atelier Yumia is definitely a game that I'm super excited about. I mean, just looking at the trailers, like, it really is completely different from your typical Atelier series, and that's actually what I wanted to talk about. The reason why it looks so different is because, well, they have a bigger budget. So Atelier Yumia introduces a seamless open world real-time action and a creative house building system to raise the IP to a global level. So with the popularity of Ryza, the Atelier games have been really put on the map, and again, a lot of people have been playing Ryza and then later getting into all the remasters and going into the re-releases of these games. I mean, recently a lot of the Atelier games have been getting re-released on Steam and stuff like that. So yeah, Atelier series has been really getting a lot of attention, and Yumia is going to be one of those games where JRPG fans are going to be like, whoa, this game looks amazing. So yeah, watching the trailer, it looks really good. Definitely a bigger budget has been implemented because, again, like this title states, there's real-time action, there's a lot of exploring in the fields that we see in the trailer. There is actually more walkability, if that makes sense. Like, when I mean walkability, like in Ryza, like, even though that was the most recent title, you were still limited on where you could walk and jump and everything like that. But watching the trailers for Yumia, you're able to, like, wall jump, you're able to jump off cliffs. In past games you weren't able to do that, so that was something really cool. You can also ride a motorcycle, which is actually pretty cool. So there's actually a lot more time to save when it comes to traveling. Like, maybe there's gonna be, like, you know, a fast travel system. I'm sure they'll implement that, but still, like, just seeing those things, those little things that you see in most games today, an Atelier game is really insane to see, because, like, Atelier is not really a big budget game if you really think about it, but now that they're putting a lot of budget into Yumia, I think this is definitely going to attract a lot of fans that never really touched an Atelier game. Like, a lot of JRPG fans that never touched an Atelier game, or maybe those who really wanted to touch an Atelier game but haven't. So yeah, well, let's go ahead and read this article because it talks about that. So Koei Tecmo's Atelier Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land, has announced for a March 2025 release. So still a pretty long time away, but still very close. It's going to be releasing on all major consoles, which is huge, very huge. So the latest entry in a long-running Atelier series is more ambitious than the previous titles, with a goal of making a global breakthrough. In an interview with 4Gamer, the game's producer Junzo Hosoi recently revealed how Atelier Yumia will push the series to the next level with an expanded open world, real-time action combat, and house building system offering high player freedom. The entire game is designed to cater to everyone from casual players to hardcore RPGers. So yeah, another thing that really is going to be huge for this game is the house building system. So in past Atelier series, you weren't able to really customize your atelier or your house, you know. So this game allows you to customize your atelier, your house, however you want, from the interior to the exterior, which is pretty insane. So you're literally playing a game where you can build a house, a simulator, and also play JRPG. So that's what's really cool about this game. They're adding in a lot of creativity, and I love it. I think that's really cool. So again, this series, this franchise is from 1997. There's been 25 mainline games, which I actually did not know. I knew there was a lot, but I didn't know it was 25. And again, I haven't played all of them, which I really want to play all of them now. And then of course, numerous spin-offs. They have the mobile game that's going on right now. So yeah, there is a pretty big cult following for the Atelier series, and also emphasize that Atelier Yumia is not just for the hardcore fans, but it's to introduce new players, and I think that's amazing. I still consider myself a new player because again, I've only touched Ryza and a little bit of other Atelier games, but I highly think this game is going to be a game where a lot of people are going to start playing more Atelier games. So yeah, like again, this is going to be a very creative, high quality RPG for an Atelier series. So again, there's going to be a lot of freedom to explore. Like I mentioned earlier, you can jump off cliffs, you can jump on walls, you can jump on cliffs, you're going to be riding a motorcycle and stuff like that. And again, you can create a lot of different locations where you can make an atelier, a house, a base. And thanks to the success of, you know, the Secret sub-series, which sold over like 2 million copies, like they have a bigger budget for this game, which is actually really cool to see. I'm actually really happy that they have a really big budget for Yumia. And I mean, of course, Ryza was a big part of that. Ryza was huge, like surprisingly really huge. So yeah, like it's going to be a huge open world, and we've never again seen that in the Atelier series. So although Atelier Ryza 3 Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key brought with larger maps, movement was still restricted. Again, you weren't really able to like jump off cliffs or climb cliffs and stuff like that. Like, so to be able to see a bigger scale game and to be able to do all those things is huge. And Atelier Yumia, however, will allow players to move freely in all directions across an open field, giving much greater sense of freedom and exploration. The experience of unlocking landmarks and journeying somewhere in the same is the same. However, as Hosoi puts it, Yumia will offer more adventurous open field gameplay. It will be easier to explore the map vertically using a new wall jumping move, which I've been talking about literally all this time. So yeah, it's really cool. And then of course the real-time combat balance strategy with action. So unlike previous Atelier game, this seems like it's going to be super quick gameplay when it comes to battle combat, and it looks really smooth going into the battle as well. So the seamless movement and hybrid turn-based combat found in Atelier 3 will be further evolved in Yumia's action-like battle system. For example, characters can now move around on the battlefield to dodge enemy attacks, which is actually really cool. Although the battle will be more intense than previous Atelier games, which I like to hear, the devs have taken a care to blend active and thinking based combat to create a system that balances the two. So I think this is a system which we have been seeing a lot recently in a lot of newer JRPGs. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I think that system is definitely one of the better systems to date. Now they made it so that players can ponder their moves, so that's really great. You can think while fighting, giving them a pleasant action-like experience. The game will also add frontline and backline positions, which is cool, new equipable items, and various other strategic aspects for players to engage with what they choose. So I like that. So you're going to be more creative when it comes to not only the exploring, the creativity part, but when it comes to battle as well. And again, I think that's going to be so much fun. Now, like the combat, the alchemy and crafting system in Atelier Yumia are designed so that hardcore players can go all out into pursuit the perfect potion of item. So if you've never played an Atelier series, there's something called this alchemy crafting system, and you obviously gather all these items when you're exploring, and these items will allow you to create stronger items such as potions, equipment, and of course you can create the same equipment and item, but there's also a chance to create that specific item with better effects. So for example, if you create a potion, not only can you heal, you can probably heal MP, or you can probably get a buff like an attack buff or a defense buff and stuff like that. So they're actually making the crafting system a lot better, which is actually really cool, and I like that. I really like that. So yeah, thanks to the function that adds materials automatically, that's really cool, because there are players that don't know what to do when it comes to crafting, so you can just click on the automatic crafting and it will create something. Obviously, I highly recommend you figuring out what to use, what items to use, because automatic could will always give you the best effects and best items. So you definitely want to like choose and be very specific on what you choose. But for those who just want like a casual experience, then the automatic crafting is always great as well. I mean, I use it sometimes too when I played Atelier Ryza. But Hosoi emphasizes that the team has made it so that Atelier Yumia's alchemy system expands upon Atelier Ryza 3's with the return of the link morph style system, and even easier to understand the visual interface. Follow recipes and craft new useful items by manipulating the mana residing within the ingredients. So again, crafting isn't the easiest thing to do. It is confusing at first. I remember playing Ryza, I was super confused on what to do at first, but then I got used to it. So yeah, I think that's something very nice to have for newer players. So the building system in Atelier Yumia lets you unleash your creativity. So again, I talked about this earlier. You're able to create items for your atelier, your clubhouse, your house, the house, basically your base. And again, a big draw for Atelier Yumia is going to be that house building system. And as you can see, she's creating what you call a fireplace, a chimney, so that you can put it inside your base. And of course, when you go exterior, you can build upon that chimney, which is actually really cool, and you can just build your dream house like that. Now, balancing a serious story with Atelier's familiar cozy atmosphere. So yeah, Atelier was more of a cozy game. Yeah, there was some like dramatic moments and stuff like that, some comedic moments and stuff like that, but it does look like Yumia will be more dramatic, more intense, more serious, but at the same time I think it'll still have that Atelier cozy atmosphere feel. That's what I think, and I mean that's what it looks like it's gonna have. So the story is shaping up to be more serious and relaxed, pared down. I've given up on saving the word style stories of many previous Atelier games, where you are an alchemist eking out a cozy existence. For starters, Atelier Yumia is set in a world where alchemy is taboo. Ooh, okay. And then, however, Yumia must use alchemy as she explores a dying continent. Along the way, Yumia and her companions will get caught up in various happenings, and villains will also have a strong presence. However, Hosoi assures fans of the Atelier series' cozy atmosphere that even though it's a serious story, it's not dark and heavy, so I think you can still feel the Atelier series atmosphere and style of storytelling. Yeah, I like that. Past games, even though they had their moments, I still thought it was more of a cozy atmosphere feeling. I did feel like they could have worked on the story more and give it a more dramatic story when it comes to like Ryza and past Atelier games, but I think they're going with a really good direction with Yumia here. I like that. With the evolution of Atelier series, the development team is hoping that Atelier Yumia will be popular around the world, and I think it will be. I think it's definitely going to be the Atelier game that a lot of people are going to be like, this is the one that got me into the Atelier franchise. I mean, Ryza was that for me, I think for a lot of you guys as well, but I think Yumia will definitely attract more fans. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think the character designs for all the characters that we've seen so far are really amazing, especially the protagonist. I mean, Yumia. I mean, a lot of people are already like simping on her, which is actually something pretty crazy. But yeah, this is really cool. So yeah, it's coming out March 21st, 2025 on all platforms, and I'm excited. I think Yumia is going to be definitely a game that everyone has to check out if you're an RPG fan, or if you've ever wanted to touch an Atelier game. Like I do think if it is a game that if you play, I think you'll want to be interested in playing the other Atelier games, but you have to understand that again, this is a game that's going to be more budget, so it's going to be vastly different from past games. So you got to remember that, like, all the freedom you have in Yumia, you won't really have in the past games. So that's something to, like, you need to understand, I guess you can say. So I highly recommend you guys try out Ryza, though. Like, Ryza is definitely, I think, a great entry point when it comes to the Atelier games, and I highly recommend it. I mean, the characters are fun, the story is fun, the gameplay is actually pretty good, and yeah, I think it's a great entry point. But hey, that's up to you guys. But I think Yumia is definitely going to be one of those games that's going to be super exciting. So yeah, I'm excited for Atelier Yumia. I cannot wait to play it. I actually already pre-ordered it, and I got I'm getting the bonuses, so I'm super excited about that. But man, I cannot wait to play this game. I think this is definitely going to be a game that's going to be pretty game changing when it comes to RPGs, and of course, again, the Atelier series. But yeah, that's basically my little video on the Atelier Yumia. Again, I'm very happy that the budget is bigger, and hopefully this game is successful, that it will create more games and they'll get more budget to do more creative things. And man, I can't wait to see what happens for the future for the Atelier franchise. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys enjoyed this video, it would be really cool if you guys give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and even comment down below what you guys think about the Atelier Yumia game. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.